Hello again, my little mathematicians. I'm going to help you finish off the last little bit of the study guide. So again, you have these numbers in this data set, okay, and you want to make a histogram from it. So the first thing is you want to kind of look at the range, and so it goes all the way from like 50 to about 90 something. So I broke it up in 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. So go ahead and tally up how many of each one there was. Okay, pause the video, try it yourself, and then unpause it and come back. Okay, when you did that, okay, you're now back with us, and you should have gotten this. Okay, so when you cross it off, there was one number that was in the 50s, one number that was in the 60s, 4 in the 70s, 5 in the 80s, and 4 in the 90s. Okay, you need to be able to fill out a frequency table. Now this means how many times numbers within that set happened. So on a histogram, remember it's not individual data values like a bar graph, it's intervals. So I want to make intervals from, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 100s. So here in the 50s, it only went up to 1. In the 60s, it also only went up to 1. In the 70s, it went up to 4, and so on. And that's how you create a histogram, okay? Now for a box and whisker plot, that we have to be more precise, and we have to first find the max and min and median. So we need to first put them in order from least to greatest. So I see the smallest number is 4. And then again, pause it, keep going on your own. Okay, you unpaused it, you're back with us. Let's see how you did. Your next number was 5. After that, your next number was 7. And then you had 2 8s. And a 9, or actually, sorry, not a 9, you had 2 9s, and an 11, and a 12, and a 14. Please always double check that you wrote them all down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because if you miss one, you're automatically going to miss some of the other stuff. Okay, you're going only from 4 to 14, so I could count by 2s totally. So like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay. I want to plot my min and max. So what's the smallest number? Yeah, it's that 4. So draw a dot at 4. What's the biggest number in the data set? It was 14. So draw a dot at 14. Then you want to find your median. So once they're listed in order from least to greatest, you cross off to find that middle number. So beginning, end, beginning, end, beginning, end, beginning, end, beginning, end. It's between that 8 and 9. What's between 8 and 9? Yeah, 8.5. So go ahead, and this would be 9, so 8.5 would be about there. Okay, so that's your 8.5. Now, when there's two numbers that it's between, that 8 is part of the lower half, and that 9 is part of the upper half. So I'm going to include the 8 when I'm crossing off to find my lower quartile. Beginning, end, and there is my lower quartile, or quartile 1. It's at 7, right between the 6 and 8. Okay, and then finally for my last one, okay, again, that 9 is part of the upper half. So beginning, end, your third quartile hits at 11. So I'm going to draw a dot at 11. Now, when you go to draw your box and whisker plot, connect the end 2 dots. So these 2 and these 2. Okay, so those are your whiskers. And then your box, draw the box around that middle value. And then you draw a line down, and that should always be your median. And that hits right after the 8, which makes sense because your median was 8.5. And that is how you draw a box and whisker plot. Good luck, my little mathematicians. You're going to do great on the quiz.